All right, let's go to the Blizzard controversy. So, Doc, could you actually segue into this?
Yeah, so I guess on the segue of also more sex.
Pretty much the
Uh
degeneracy. Let's get into it,
yeah.
right?
This fucking dude. So Bobby Kotick is the CEO of Activision Blizzard, and recently, within the past few months, I know we've talked about it a couple times. Um, Blizzard essentially got sued by the state of California for having a very, very sexually harassed culture built within it. And women had been like pleading about being sexually harassed. They had like floor directors and stuff like that that would go, and they even had like terminology for it. Like the boys would call it like rolling or something like that. And they would basically just kind of like get in a chair and just roll from cubicle to cubicle and like hit on girl after girl and stuff like that. To the point to where like there was reports of like guys having to pull out directors like by their arms like out of cubicles like off women and stuff like that. Like I don't know if they were like completely like on them already, like groping them or anything like that, but like guys would be like, dude, she doesn't want you to do that anymore, and like they would go in there and they would actually pull them out, and then they would file reports and
Spitting
stuff like
super
that.
aggressive game.
Yeah, they would be scared for filing reports and stuff like that because obviously like they were the bosses and stuff like that. So it was just a terrible place for women to work, and it's even men who felt uncomfortable by watching like the women that they worked with get harassed. So it also then came out that for some of the work trips, they would go and they would basically just like hire hookers, or they would hit on like the female employees that they had brought and stuff like that. So some real like Wolf of Wall Street. It's funny because everything that happened in that movie is actually happening in this fucking company. And so the exaggeration for what Wolf of Wall Street really wasn't is actually a reality within Activision Blizzard. And they had some of like the top directors for some of the video games book a hotel room, and they even put up a portrait of Bill Cosby,
Oh man,
and they
some
called
some
it.
of those pictures down here. You can scroll down, dude. I like. There's so
Yeah,
many pictures. Oh no, it's
they
not this one.
it's not this article. Yeah, but this one's like the most recent article. So they called it the Cosby Suite, and they would just take girls up there, and they would just do what they did at the Cosby Suite, and it was aptly named. So they went with it. Once that shit got out, they like completely got rid of all those people. I think one of the guys, he was the inspiration for one of the characters in Overwatch. His name was McCree. He's like a cowboy. They straight up changed that character's name because of that dude. Since he was one of the persons that was shown in the photo at the Cosby Suite.
Cassidy, right?
And
Two Cass was
yeah,
changed from
I
McCree
think
to
they've changed
Cassidy.
him to Cassidy or something like that. Some other cowboy name. But it got out within the past couple weeks. So this had already been going on for like a month or two, where it was just a burning fire for this corporation. But the publisher, which is, think of it like the label of the dev team or like the artists and stuff like that, is Bobby Kotick, and he is a part of Activision, which is called Duty, which is a huge title, and a lot of their money comes from it. He actively suppressed some of those cases. He even threatened like some of the people that were coming
Ooh.
out. Like they even have reports of him like saying like I'll fucking kill you and stuff like that. And
Wow.
some of the reports were crazy. Like I told you that one where they actually made a girl commit suicide because they
You did.
sent
I remember
pictures.
this conversation. That's wild.
Yeah, they sent pictures of her vagina like all around each other at a Christmas party or some shit like that. And then I think when one of the directors took her on a business trip, he took a bunch of dildos and he basically like pulled them out in front of her and was like, "So you're about it, right?" And she just got tired of the harassment and she eventually committed suicide. Allegedly, they haven't actually like said who the person was and stuff like that, but that is one of the cases in the lawsuit that they were investigating. So if that happened, then like there's some higher heinous charges that are come out from that. So this fucker Bobby Kotick, who's also like one of the sharks of the industry, like he fucking monetizes everything. He already had a bad rap for being a shark, but now that this came out and all of like his messages and stuff like that leaked of him basically like harassing people to suppress a lot of this documentation leaked, it's just it's hit the fan like to the point to the board directors. Not a lot of them, I think only like 1% of the shareholders got upset and were asking for him to step down. and he said no. But the reason why in the past week he's actually started to consider stepping down is because the lead game division guy for Sony came out saying it's really fucked up what's happening at Activision. And then Phil Spencer, the lead guy for Xbox, came out and said the same thing. And today, the lead for Doug Bowser, the lead for Nintendo, came out and said the exact same thing. And like they're all condemning this company. So at this point, the platforms that he's putting games out are basically like setting up the chessboard to be like, we don't want it anymore. We're fuck you. Like we're done. We're out. So now he's actually at the hot seat and his fucking feet are against the fire. So he's making this vow that he's going to try to change the problems internally for the company, and if he can't do it in time, he's going to step down. But honestly, like he's
Can he be
part of the
fired?
reason.
How is he not fired or
It seems like he's trying to shred the evidence before he gets out.
Well, they've already been caught doing that. So if he does it again and they catch him again, like it's fucked. Because they actually do have reports of them shredding HR evidence from the previous like lawsuits, or not previous cases, not lawsuits, within Blizzard. So he can't be fired because he's a part of the board. Essentially, the board has to tell him to leave.
I was about to say, can't the board like vote him out or something? However that works.
So here's the thing: the board are his buddies that he put in there.
I got a great segue after this, then, but keep going.
So previously, that's why only like 1% isn't his buddies, and they're actually like a group of people who are like pushing for basically they're like the justice warriors of
dude.
Like,
they're
the board
doomed
members.
In this case. I can't see if this is true. Like this is a small group of guys, and they're just clearly, as you've been saying, they have been suppressing this, and they're not. No one's getting the axe. And I don't see how Blizzard recovers. Like the same people are still in charge, so I don't see how they recover.
Well, that's why I think he's saying that he'll most likely leave.
But it's not only him. I think him and everybody else needs to recover because the friends also I would argue are accountable too. If they're as close as friends as you just said, they knew. Like there's no way they didn't know.
Yeah, that's true. They would essentially have to cut the head off the snake to
cut the whole body. They need a fresh new snake.
I don't think the whole body, because not everybody who works there was like a part of this. A lot of people were just experiencing it, and even then, if you do that,
3/4 of the body.
Yeah. The problem with it is like you put a lot of people out of jobs when you do that. Just like, so that's one of the things that was happening where people were like, should we boycott the games now? Because we clearly don't support this. But then there's people that are like, no, don't boycott the game because I'm just a worker. Like, I wasn't a part of this. It was all the executives. So you're gonna fuck me to like, you know, be an activist, and that's not necessarily the point. So that's why everyone's trying to get
that kind of is the point, isn't it?
Well, not necessarily, dude, because you're hurting somebody who's just collateral damage.
But that's what happens when you protest and you become an activist. And I use an extreme example as when activists and protesters get in streets and block traffic. You're not going at the true heart of the problem. You're stopping citizens. I'm just going to work. I'm just doing what I need to do every day, but you're inconveniencing me, not the politicians, not the people who you really want to hear you and who really can make a change. You're doing it to me. So that's why it's like I get what you're saying, but it's how it always is, though.
That does make sense. The problem is that like your decision isn't should I take over a street. It's like should I just buy a video game that I'm probably not going to play.
But you want to protest. You want to make a statement. The whole thing is making a statement. I guess I'm simplifying it too much, but the whole point of it is to make a statement that I do not condone or agree with the way you've been handling or hold yourself when it comes to this situation or whatever. And I need to find a way to publicly let you know while also affecting your pocketbook. Yes, of course, it's going to affect the lower level people, but you can't. You have to affect the lower level people to inevitably affect the higher ups. Like it's inevitable. It's inevitable. That's why I get what you're saying, but like then they're not going to be held accountable at that point because there's too many people at the bottom who are going to be affected. Like I get it. You don't want to affect them, but if you want to make a change, like that's the whole point of protesting and being an activist. You got to be loud. Some people got to take a hit, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, I guess I do see your point, but that also is kind of like the reason why you should be encouraged to vote, because that's how you would hit a politician if you vote. And so
that's a whole different discussion, but I agree with you.
Like, if you were trying to go at the executives, like that 1% of the board who is genuinely like saying like this is what we need to do, what ended up happening though is all the PR around this, once it hit the other platform leaders, that's where you're fucked. Because literally, if you can't deal with the other platforms, like you can't sell games. It doesn't matter, and
So
that's when the entire
my
thing just
question
fucking
is,
dies.
are you saying that the 1% of the board should have done this boycott, or are you saying the
No,
actual
like people,
the
like
staff?
everybody. No,
Both,
everybody.
honestly, but
Like
sure.
consumers, like
Yeah.
don't buy the next Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like period, just because of the
And you're saying
culture that the
regardless
company
of who
puts out of
takes
it.
it, that they're just collateral damage in the bigger.
I'm not trying to be cynical like that, but I'm not saying they should do that, even though arguably I wouldn't be against it, to be completely honest. But I'm just saying that's what happens when you protest, when you make a stand, when you become an activist and all that stuff. The whole point is you're going to affect somebody by making this stand, by making this protest, by making this public or whatever, the statement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the word is naive to want to make a statement without considering the ramifications of making that statement, to making that protest, to making that.
The only thing I would consider is how fast you want the change done, or how fast you're considering the balance of what you're risking for having the change done. Because this way, now we know about the issue. For us to be talking about it on the podcast has probably reached out pretty far, and so he's being condemned by other platforms. And so now there are people who get to keep their job as well as him resigning. But that's just the path.
That would be the best way for it to play out. Because at this point, like all the other board members, like these are also their jobs. And if they're all just like, Bobby, like you fucked up, maybe the other board members are going to eat him. I'm just be like, all right, man, we're going to keep our jobs. We're going to keep our fucking money.
Yeah, I agree. That's my issue. Like, the fact that he hasn't resigned yet is just like, wow, that's
a scumbag.
That's why part of me, I guess, to be completely honest, is like, bro, Blizzard's got to fall. Because if he's not leaving, then all right, then we're going after Blizzard. We're going to put pressure on Blizzard. Because, yeah, like, that's crazy. That's wild.
I actually think all of it, though. It's not even, well, for sure, like, Blizzard's, like, the most, like, at the ready to fall. They've been doing a lot of, like, sleazy shit recently, too.
Do they still have World of Warcraft going?
No, everyone's going to Final Fantasy, like me and Doc and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they do have it going, but like it was being highly monetized. People didn't like the direction it was going into because it was too corporate.
Okay.
And then this shit happened, and like Gene said, like people just straight up boycotted. We're like, no, I'm not giving any more money. Like I don't believe in what you're doing. We're out.
And they said, wow.
So they left. Yeah, they said, wow, we're out. Fuck it.
Okay.
But like COD is also affected. So like the most recent Call of Duty Vanguard, they didn't put Activision on it because of this.
Oh, really?
If you see all the trailers, it just says like Call of Duty, and like they don't talk about like their company name like it used to be.
See,
like,
they're trying to get a receipt.
And they gave us that free trial. I think that shit's still going.
See, are we okay with this? As long as we get a game right, we'll turn a blind eye. As long as you give us some free stuff.
That's what they're hoping, bro. They're trying to pull it. They're trying to go at it.
That's my point, though.
Yeah.
See,
y'all can say what y'all saying. I'm not a hypocrite. Look, Chick-fil-A just standing on that chicken sandwich. They can say whatever the hell they want. You feel me? As long as that shit's spicy, no pickle, and a little cheese on it. Y'all stomp where y'all need to stomp on.
Yeah, but Chick-fil-A's not doing nothing like this.
Nah, I'm just playing.
They stick it to
obviously this guy
Christian
should be fired.
morals.
Obviously, this guy should be fired. Obviously, like, look at the dude. Like, he looks like a map. Is that what we call it?
He looks like map. Is that what you said?
He said map, the minor attracted person.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Oh no, y'all have
been baffled. But yeah, the best case scenario would be that this guy fucking resigns. Like he needs to go, dude. Like he
should have been resigned. Like he should have already been gone.
He set up the board so well that he could stay no matter what the fuck was happening. And only once the other platformers were like, no, we don't agree with that. And now he's actually feeling it.
He's actually considering the fact that so this is what it is. You can tell the culture was so bad that, first off, him resigning didn't come to his mind at first when this leaked. That means he was comfortable going into the boardroom and was not threatened at all. That's how bad it was. Then, like you said, all the platforms came out and spoke against him. then can you imagine saying, well, then I'll think about it, and just putting that out in the world to see, well, let's see what they say. Let's see what that think about it does. Buys me
I
a little
think
bit
his
more time. What the fuck?
his messages though, like once his emails and stuff like that, I think that's the most damning stuff. Because
But
it's
yet,
just directly him.
as we stand here today, he's still the CEO.
Yeah, dude, he has a lot of control. Okay, so when this shit first broke out,
Blizzard's got to go.
when this shit first broke out, the HR lady wrote a fucking letter that basically said like their company like statement for the situation, and it was super tone deaf. Everybody was really upset. So that lady eventually ended up quitting, and then fucking Wall Street Journal found out he wrote the fucking letter, and he made her put it out.
And she
fucking said
Blizzard's got to go. I'm sorry. If we got to take him out, Blizzard's got to go. I'm sorry, guys. You work for Blizzard. I know my brother has to know someone who works at Blizzard personally. I'm sorry. You got to go.
Finishing a cluster strike.
You got to go. Cluster strike. Like, nuke it.
Yeah, dude, this guy's going to get a fucking movie made in like 5 years.
That's a good point. We're probably going to see a movie about this.
Yeah.
A documentary, maybe.
Him and Epstein.
I just think it's so weird that it's a video game company. This isn't some fucking Wall Street. This isn't some like crazy like tycoon industry. Like you know what I mean? Like the way we normally see
Shut
movies.
up, Doc. This makes the most sense. Out of anywhere,
Well, hold on, let
they
me
ain't get
explain.
bitches their whole
Exactly.
life. And then you gonna let them
yesterday.
get a
That's
little bit
literally
of
what I was
power.
saying, Doc, the other day.
You get a little bit of
Literally.
power. You get a little bit of money. You got goddamn trying to get your rocks off.
Now I finally get
They
that.
have no
the
game.
super alpha masculine guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
lame ass niggas. There's a group of lame ass niggas doing some lame ass nigga shit.
Yeah, it's just so funny. Gene literally said that yesterday when I mentioned the.
Where else
the
would this
idea
happen?
talking about this.
Yo, that's funny.
Yo,
All right.
you made it to the end. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching Fake Deep Thinking. If you like the show, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and to share. We really appreciate everything and appreciate you. So take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good day.